You need to translate what's depicted in manga into anime form in order to give anime viewers the same impression manga readers had. So I paid a lot of attention to the details and adjusted things as necessary to stay close to the idea of Dandadan. This is a quote by director Fuga Yamashiro regarding his first directorial work, Dandadan, that highlights his commitment to faithfully adapting manga. Since anime and manga are fundamentally different art forms, his approach mainly focuses on preserving the essence of the original work and recreating the emotions a reader may have felt during their initial reading. A direct one-to-one translation of any work is almost always impossible, so it falls on the director to employ creative liberties and bring a story to life in the best way possible. Dandadan is a phenomenal adaptation that demonstrates how a director uses every tool at their disposal to translate and sometimes elevate an existing story. Mastery of visual language, pacing, and complete understanding of the original work are just a few of the key elements required to bring an adaptation to life. But today, I want to talk about sound design, an aspect of visual media that is so easily forgotten. Though it may go unnoticed, it's said that sound is 50% of the viewing experience, and an incredible amount of intent goes into sound design in every production. Dandadan is no exception. This is Sound Bits I Love, a channel where I showcase sound design moments in media that caught my attention. The effort to faithfully translate Dandadan from manga to anime seems to be deeply ingrained in the entire production team. The series screenwriter Koshi Seko emphasizes that subtle anime-exclusive changes play a crucial role in supporting the sense of world. I believe there's no better scene that demonstrates this than one particular moment in episode 10. It leverages sound in a way unique to animation and might just be my favorite sound design moment in the entire series. Here's the scene.
私がまっとうに働くしかありません。高倉健さんの心遣い、とても嬉しいです。
Did you catch that? Mr. Mantis Shrimp's dialogue when he refers to Ken Takakura is played completely in the left ear. It's much easier to catch on headphones, but it's one of the rare times anything has been panned so drastically to one side, and it makes the audience's ears subconsciously prick up. So, panning is the act of positioning a sound within the stereo field. Hearing something played this far along the scale results in the sound being perceived closer to the listener, and makes it stand out artificially. In other instances, harsh panning has been used in Dandadan to create a sense of space, or emphasize the position of characters on screen, like here.
Taro? その声は太郎なの?
But I think the moment in episode 10 has a deeper meaning behind it given the context. For comparison, here's how panning is being used in other scenes with similar character positioning.
わかる。ちゃんと見張ってよ。
ダリー。
行くよ。オカル、これ着て。女物だけど大丈夫っしょ。
綾瀬さんを危険にさらすことになる。
高倉くん。
And here's the scene in question again.
私がまっとうに働くしかありません。高倉健さんの心遣い、とても嬉しいです。
Hear the difference? I think there's a reason for that. To provide some context, there's a running gag in the series where Momo, one of the protagonists, has a crush on this celebrity named Ken Takakura. Whenever she hears this name, she becomes completely flustered, and at times incapacitated. Coincidentally, our other protagonist, Okarun, his real name is also Ken Takakura, which makes for some comedic moments in the manga. With this context in mind, it's obvious how the harsh panning is an intentional directorial choice designed to mimic how Momo perceives the name. Especially since the visuals hold a close-up on Momo's face as she reacts to hearing it. Since she has such an intense reaction, literally rolling on the floor after hearing it, the name clearly carries significant emotional weight, and positioning the sound as if it's being spoken directly into the audience's ear further amplifies this impact. This bit where Ken's name violently affects Momo is carried over from the original manga. It's not anime exclusive, but actually hearing it and experiencing it alongside her creates a uniquely immersive experience that blurs the line between character and viewer. we're positioned in Momo's shoes, and we're encouraged to react to the name just as she does. For me personally, I experienced a tingling sensation on top of the proximity effect, and this unconventional moment of sound design adds weight to the scene and is such a subtle yet genius way to make the comedy feel more tangible, and elevate the moment in a way that isn't possible in manga. Yamashiro stated that any changes he made were carefully considered to ensure they wouldn't feel out of place if they existed in the original manga, often asking himself, what would Tatsu do? I think this sound design decision in episode 10 is exemplary of this, because it's so direct, but just quirky enough to match the tone of Dandadan. Not to say that the adaptation is better or worse, they both have their own strengths. But sound is such an underrated way for a director to explore beyond the limitations of purely visual mediums. I hope this single instance highlights both Yamashiro's brilliance as a director, as well as the often overlooked power of sound in adaptation. There are so many more cool bits of sound design in Dandadan that I want to explore, but that's for another time. Anyway, bye.